And Doug, that is, again, your message. We watched you in the schools teaching and talked about what you do each day. It starts young. I mean, if we don't get to these kids, we all know that ages keep getting younger every time we hear the statistics. Right. So if you don't get them that message and somehow make it sink in, I mean, as you said, you know, the rate is going to continue to rise in the 20 to 29 category. Before we discuss that more, I want people to get a chance to see exactly what Doug does each and every day out there trying to make a difference to these young people.
When most of us think of the Red Cross, we think disaster relief. We remember images of the organization's immediate action after Francis, Jean, and Wilma came to town. But at the headquarters in downtown West Palm Beach, there is crucial life-saving outreach going on, even when storm season is long gone.
We started getting involved in HIV and AIDS in 1985 with the blood supply. That's how the Red Cross got involved in HIV and AIDS education. HIV and AIDS is just another area of trying to save lives. So.
Doug Randolph is a Red Cross HIV educator. He is also living with AIDS. This former Marine was diagnosed 23 years ago and today continues to battle the illness and its debilitating side effects. The most recent, bone deterioration that forces this former college basketball player to use crutches to get around. Despite that, Doug is not giving up.
There's two choices, to try or not to try, and I've lost so many friends that said, I don't want to do this, I can't do it anymore. So I kind of like staying alive.
Today I'm on 14 prescriptions, about 16 pills a day. Every morning, every night, you know, I'm on 3 needles a day from the insulin. A year ago I was on 5 needles a day. They came out with this new drug called Fusion, and it's injected directly into the stomach. Hurts like hell.
Doug has found a way to cope with his hell by sharing stories with students at schools like Palm Beach Gardens High and talking candidly about the disease that will eventually kill him.
There's no cure, there's no vaccine. The only thing we have is education.
We know the new infections every year, 50% of them are under the age of 25. So it's young people, and it's about choices and putting themselves at risk.
Can you imagine going out?
We can't show the students' faces due to school privacy rules, but Doug assures us that these kids listen.
They have no idea that HIV and AIDS has killed 500,000 people in this country. There's perfect silence in the room when people are contemplating 500,000 people, you know, with 1 million infected, and most of them don't know it.
What they do know, according to Doug, is that condoms can help protect them from AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases, but most choose not to use them.
They're tired of hearing about condoms. You know, it's an interesting message that a lot of the people have been hearing it for 20 years now, and it's just, they're tired of hearing the message, you know. So when they put themselves at risk, one of the things too is the invulnerability of young people. That can't happen to me.
But it does happen to young people, and the number of heterosexual transmission of HIV in Palm Beach County is growing. Doug believes the teens of today are in a much different world than when AIDS was first diagnosed 25 years ago.
You know, I was in the 70s, so I mean, you know, we did things too and put ourselves at risk in bad choices. The kids today, it seems a little bit different that they're willing to put themselves at risk a little bit more today. It's a much more open young people, I think, in their decision-making process.
This former Marine believes parents and teachers must talk honestly and openly about sex and the right choices if any impact is to be made. But he is realistic when it comes to what really is happening outside of the school doors.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, high or on booze or something, that choice decision-making process just goes out the window.
Doug estimates he's spoken to about 30,000 kids in the past 10 years. And despite the fact that the HIV infection rate in Palm Beach County has not dropped in the past decade, Doug is not giving up on himself or the kids.
This is a collected group of young people, and they're overwhelmed. And here in Florida with FCAT and testing, but there's messages here that when I can get 600 kids in front of me, you know, it sends a message that maybe some of them will hear it, and I think they do. I hope they do.
And as we discussed, Doug, we think some of them are hearing it, but I want to end our special on a positive note and let people watching know that they can get involved and they can help cure, battle this problem, get more funding in here. Doug, in your opinion, is that what it takes, community involvement, more than just those whose job is to be out there on the front lines?
Absolutely. I mean,
we're all partnering now. I mean, there's a lot of people doing the education process, and we're trying to hit every aspect of different communities. We need more people out there talking about it. We need more people that are HIV infected to step up. That's very difficult for people. And in my case, I've had a couple young friends that have come out and spoke with me in the schools, and they were unbelievable.
And these were teenagers.
These were teenagers, but the courage for a young person to come out and speak to other young people and say, I have AIDS, I mean, it's unheard of. So it's very tough for us to find speakers in the schools and that are HIV positive to come out, and as for me and as an adult, it's easier than for a young person, and you know, so yes, we need all the help we can get.
And I want to make this clear, because one of the things that I think is a stigma to Palm Beach County, and Frontline points it out, a lot of the stigmas about AIDS, but specifically here in our home, is this is not a black disease. This is not a Glades disease. In fact, some of our better known cities have a escalating heterosexual transmission rate on the rise.
Right.
So I think knowing that, are you all kind of changing the message? Are you going into places before that, as you said, Patrick, maybe they weren't going to discuss the topic before?
Right. We are addressing different age groups. We're addressing different people from different walks of life, saying that it's not the phobia of what you had before. Don't stigmatize the HIV addiction because of one set of people. No, it happens across the board. And it will happen with our seniors. It will happen with our youngsters, and a lot of people don't realize that. And we have to educate, educate, educate.
Amen. And you and your organizations, I have learned in the last month, are doing that, and I thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for joining us on this special South Florida Today Age of AIDS special. Remember, the Frontline special airs on the 30th and 31st right here on WXEL TV at 9 p.m. For more information on this show, the Frontline show, or the organizations that were represented here tonight, just log on to WXEL.org. Good night.